Today I am going to talk about the true meaning of the Sahara. There are many ways to understand this. I have understood and seen it in this way. I hope you all like it. The story of Ramayana, the link is put up in the description box. In the story, I will be talking about the characters in the story and explain some concepts. Lord Rama, he represents the spirit and is connected to the pure light of consciousness within oneself. And Rama also represents the promised joy or a man of perfection and the one who has created and the one who has conquered all the 10 senses. The 5 senses are of the feeling body, that is feeling, feeling with the senses, the awareness and the higher knowledge, and perceiving through the awareness the higher knowledge. And the other 5 senses or indriyas, they are connected with the action body. That is how we use our hands to do our deeds, how we use our feet to stand firmly in one place or walk and move forward, and how we, the organs of excretion, they let go and eliminate the waste, the organs of the mouth, how we speak, whether the speak is good, beautiful, or whether the words are rude, impolite, etc. And also the reproductive organs, so how we generate or create or procreate by creating mental thoughts and repeating it again and again, creating a auto-driven mechanism and force. So when we are in control of all the 10 senses, then we come into the present moment, our mind. This mind, this represents the mind, the past, the present, the future, the body, the soul, and the supreme soul. So when we are in control and balance of our senses, that is in the present, then we become aware and we awaken to the feeling body, that is the divine body, and we progress spiritually. And if we are not in the present and we have not controlled our mind, then because of the overthinking, distractions, the suppressed emotions that they create, the attachments, so what happens? Create we will create an unaware mind, and our heart center, our mind will be imprisoned, and heart center also will be affected because of the thoughts. The EQ will be affected. So when our mind is not in control, we will have to go in exile. Now, the word Ayodhya, but Ayodhya means, it means the place is like the present moment, because here there are no thoughts. The present is a very subtle sacred space where there are no thoughts, and here no conflicts can exist. So the conflicts, even if there are a lot of conflicts in the mind, but as soon as we come in the present, that the thoughts and the conflicts and all the distractions and unnecessary stuff of the mind begin to get healed, and we come into the peace zone. This is called the no war zone. So in the present, we are in the Ayodhya. That is no war, no conflict, and it is invincible. And here, when we are in this present, there is no cause and effect, and no effect on us can happen over here. Now, Goddess Sita represents the feeling body. Lord Ram represents the soul, and Goddess Sita represents the heart center, the yin aspect, that is the feeling body. So, as our mind is healed, and as I said, if we are in this present, then our heart center or the feeling body starts awakening, and we come into awareness. But when there are negative information or samskaras in the mind, the past, any kind of flaws or vices, for example, fear, worry, stress, doubt, greed, anger, any type of information, it could be in the mind. So what happens? That suppresses our heart center because of the suppressed emotions, and they block our mind, and we are unable to think clearly. It affects our intellect, ability to see, it affects our attitudes and abilities to act. Abilities to act on becoming the best version of ourselves. So, the suppressed emotions, they create a cry or a pain because of all the negative samskaras, the hurt, the wound, and it creates pain, it creates poisons, toxins. So Sita represents the yin or the feeling body. So the demonic forces are in the mind, and we need to win over that by choosing to be in this present moment and opening our heart center. So to overcome these vices, we don't need to do any great penance or fight against it. We only need to on the lamp or the light by connecting to the divine in the prayers. So as soon as we begin to connect and remember the divine, the light within us, it removes all the darkness, and we begin to connect with our inner awakening, that is the feeling body. Feeling body means we can feel with our senses. We are the clarity, we are able to see and recognize the right and recognize what is right and wrong, and we are able to listen to our intuition, our inner voice, the discernment, the wisdom. But when we are away from that present, connected to the soul or the being, then our mind creates the darkness or the ignorance. So the dark mind, it starts to dissolve in the light of awareness when we contemplate and connect to the divine. So when we connect to the divine, we remember who we are. We are the divine's children. We have purity, peace, love, joy, and all the good qualities, virtues that we experience. Now, Ravana represents the negative mindset and the thoughts about the self, the false pride, the ego, which comes in hidden ways. It comes suddenly because the mind, when we don't work on ourselves and we keep giving attention and practice repeatedly the negative samskaras like fear, worry, doubt, or whatever, stress, we take stress or whatever. So that becomes an auto driven mechanism and force, and that will create problems. For example, the Ravana has 10 heads. So these heads, they represent a obsessive mindset. Means we have given so much of power to some thoughts that they have become attached, and it is unable to stop it. Now it will come into fruition. Whatever we have given power to, it will get created or manifested in our life. For example, the habits, we are unable to stop it, we are unable to control it. It just happens, it just manifests in our life. Or anything which we are unable to control and we feel helpless. For example, addictions, obsessive compulsive disorders, autoimmune disorders. These all things is beyond our control because we have given attention and power to those thoughts in our mind, which has become the cause and is creating the effects in the body. So if you just how they have shot Ravana, but that head was not dying. It was coming back again and sticking to that head. It means that small now, because we have given so much power to it, we'll have to work on it so much so that you can resolve it and remove the sanskaras, and there is a lot of work to be done. So before only if we can try to slow down, silence our mind and come into the present. So the present is very pure and it's a very sacred zone because all the life force energies which are flowing within our body, it comes through the soul and in the present. The mind is full. Mindful zone means the mind is full of love and joy of the divine. And that heals the negative samskaras. But if we don't pay attention and we are unaware, we are not in the present, and we continuously we keep thinking all the time. We hold on to grudges, resentment, anger, unforgiveness. So what happens? It blocks our intellect in the present, and we are unable to see clearly. There will be no clarity to make the right choices, to discern right from wrong, to make the right decisions, the right responses. Everything will go for a toss. So all our actions also, we are unable to select our actions. Even simple actions like what to eat or simple things like what is a normal way of living in a life. So people, like, we are not able to control ourselves. We just eat anything. We cannot control oily food or fatty food or anything because we are not in that control zone. We are out of control. So this negative mindset is signifying the 10 heads of the Ravana, that is the demon. So once the demon is become powerful, no amount of materialism can give us happiness. It can give us some basic comfort, but it is not a solution to problems. It will not create happiness. Only being present, having the moral values, the spiritual values, only that can help and save the world. So most of us are in exile because the yin aspect, the feeling body, is chained and it has blocked the energy flow from the supreme within our body. So the yang is also trapped. The energies are trapped. So we only need to be present so we can overcome the negative mindsets and from where the actions are happening. The negative mindsets and our emotions. They create all our deeds and habits, our actions, behaviors, addictions, etc. It happens on an automatic mode, auto-driven force or mechanism. So we need to be in Ayodhya. The present is symbolic of Ayodhya. Here we are aware, we are mindful, we are careful, and we are able to concentrate and focus on what we need. We are able to see clearly what is our goal, what is the task we need to do. But if we are not in this Ayodhya, if we are in the negative mindset, then we are unable to be in control and choose any action. When we are not in control, we can't choose and decide to let go this, we'll choose this, because it's coming in such a automated force that the actions become so compulsive. It comes in a very forced way. With such speed it happens that we attract things suddenly because everything is happening randomly. Our mind has gone haywire and everything can happen anyways. It's not in a proper intention. In the present, the proper intention comes in a planned way. We are moving, so everything is happening very systematically. But what happens if the negative samskaras are here? It will happen. Anything we draw or attract suddenly, a sudden illness, a sudden loss, a sudden accident. So these everything is happening because of the past negative mindset or samskaras. We don't know what are the thoughts inside, but the basic thoughts are of fear, doubt, worry, stress, feeling unsafe, insecure. These are the basic thoughts. Now, the golden deer. The golden deer represents the object of desire. So the desires are in the mind, but because we are human, we of course come with our true desires. There are some few true desires, but if we are having too many dreams and desires, they are of the mind. So what happens? The golden deer is representing the desire, and it creates a chaos and confusion in the mind, creates impulsive, it creates impulsiveness, a craving, a tendency. Tendency again means den meaning again it's a void, or it can also mean dent or a hole or a whatever, sees. So this again means the same thing, that it's coming and happening on a compulsive mode. And unless we work on ourselves, we slow down, heal our mind by becoming present, these things cannot be changed. So the temptations, they will urge us to do something. And we will feel so helpless and unable to stop ourselves. Lord Lakshman, he is the brother of Ram. So he represents Lakshman. Again, Lakshman means Laksh means aim. Lakshman. It means Laksh means the aim, and where we aim and where we focus. So Lakshman, he drew the Lakshman Rekha around Sita. What is this Lakshman Rekha? It is the line of protection. So what did he say? This is a protection. Be here. It was representing the Ayodhya or the present mind. In the present, no one can harm you because you are fully protected by the divine. Because there are no thoughts. So only the divine, loving and joyful energies are in the present. So what happens? He said this is the line of protection. He told her that you will be safe and secured within this. So he urged her not to go beyond this Lakshman Rekha. So when one is within the boundary of the present, in that awareness, in the mindfulness, there is a self-control and nothing can affect you. If your negative mind overpowers you, the temptation overpowers you. So she had a temptation to see that golden deer which has come to attract her. So in that moment, she was helpless and out of control, and she was unable to choose the right action because her intellect was shaken by that desire. So in that moment, either you can have the desire or you can be meditative. So either there will be a desire in the mind, or you can be here in the present and meditative. You can't be both. So when the desire enters your mind, one can't be meditative. It is very difficult. So now what happened? Ravana, he came and he took Sita by force against her will, because things will happen against your will. If we are not present, things will happen against our will. Anybody can make us a fool because we are unable to see the way clearly. We are away from the knowingness, from the light of the soul, the light of awareness. So Ravana took her away. Lord Hanumanji, he is representing the devotion. He had great respect for Lord Rama and Goddess Sita. So he represents devotion. So even if you are connected to your spirit in the present, or if you are having this connection to the feeling body, but that will be momentary. We have to keep practicing to be present and work on ourselves. So we get anchored and fixed or rooted in the feeling body. So we can connect to the soul or the being or Lord Rama, and we can get united with our feeling body, that is Goddess Sita, and constantly he was totally devoted to them. Constantly he could only sing praises and he was in adoration for them. So he had developed the deep bond of love, and very closely he was in love with Rama, Lord Rama and Goddess Sita. So what happens when the heart is full of love, devoted, automatically the negative samskaras in the heart in the mind starts dissolving. All the unwanted samskaras will start getting cleared and will start disappearing. So now Lord Hanuman, along with his monkey friends, monkey represents the mind, the thoughts in the mind, which are representing restlessness and instability. The thoughts keep jumping from here to there. Sometimes it goes in the past. Suddenly we start worrying about the future or we imagine things. So the monkey mind represents the thoughts or the mind. Now the bridge that the monkeys made across the ocean, they made a bridge. So this is telling us to unite and come together. It is telling us if we are in the present, even if there is a ocean or whatever, we can cross it if we are in the present and we come together and work as one power. We unite as one power to create any kind of wonder. And then the golden palace of Ravana, that is Lanka, it represented the materialistic things. And materialistic things can only give us comfort, but it can't give us the real lasting peace, love, and joy. And enjoying the prosperity that one creates. For instance, if you have money, but you have other problems, it is of no use. If we have money, but one doesn't have a good appetite, or is unable to sleep well, or one feels breathless, one is unwell mentally, physically, one can't enjoy with friends or the good things in life, so it will be of no use.